Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Mallory.
And this is a board game rundown. And yes, I have a very special guest in studio, my daughter Mallory. And we wanted to talk about Super Trains that is coming to Kickstarter soon. Or when you're watching this, maybe it's live. So Super Trains is a family game. It's fun to play with kids. I can testify to that. And it says ages 7 and up. And what we're doing is we are going to be one of these Super Train characters. They've all got different unique shapes and colors, and you've got your own player board for each train. And we are trying to defend the city from Rolar, this giant semi truck that's going around, and he's causing problems. And so we are kind of teaming up, but we're also trying to get the most points at the same time.
Yeah.
And so we're teaming up and we're trying to take out Rolar. We're trying to solve these emergencies that he's causing all over the board, all over the city here. And at the same time, we're delivering passengers to where they want to go, and we're dropping off cargo in different places. And that's going to give us rewards. And what those rewards are like these gear generators of all these different colors. We've got green and red, yellow and blue. And on these gear generators, we're kind of building up, we're trying to connect a bunch of them all together because we're going to get bonuses. We're going to get points for doing that. And what also those gear generators let us do is that during the dice phase, when we roll the die, if you've got, when you roll, you're going to add that color that you rolled to your player board on one of your gear generators. So if I rolled this red one, I've got a natural red one for this character. But if Mallory over here had a red one on her board, she could also get a gear on my turn. And if it's your turn and you roll that and you've got multiple gear generators all together, you can get up to 3 total, which is really awesome and really nice. And you're also going to get points at the end of the game for like having the most of one color, like all connected. I think that's how she beat me when we played earlier. And you're going to, and so there's a lot of, you're going to get those gears as rewards for dropping off cargo, delivering passengers, maybe solving the emergencies.
Yeah.
So like all kinds of fun things that's going on in this game, and really kind of some interesting decisions to make, like where do I go, and like what gear generators do I take, and do I try to go get that mission, or do I try to go drop people off? So the game is basically played in 3 phases. There's the dice phase, the Super Train phase, and then the upgrade phase. So in the dice phase, you've got these 3 die. One of them is the gears. That's the gear that you can get. One of them is a location die, so it's got all the different locations around the board. So there's the police headquarters, there's the construction zone over there, the school's over by me, the hospital is up there, and then there's the carnival, which Mallory kept liking. Like, she liked going to the carnival a lot. And then there's the Rolar die. And so Rolar is going to either move in the direction of the arrow, or if there's this symbol on here where it's like he's driving at you, and that Rolar symbol means he attacks, and so he's going to attack whatever location is shown on the location die. So this would be the carnival. So he would then put one of these cards over there, one of the attack cards. And so now we don't know what that card is until we get over there. And when we get over there, we want to have enough gears so then hopefully we can spend them off of our player board to beat them. So I need a red and a yellow. Well, here's the awesome thing, Mallory. Here, put that on here. Pretend like you had a yellow gear. If I go there and I've got the red, but I don't have the yellow, I need help. Well, this is where the game becomes sort of a cooperative game. So I might go, Mallory, can I please have a yellow to help me fight this? And Mallory is probably going to say yes, because she wants to get one of these kind train cards. And when these cards give you all kinds of things, like this one is an extra turn. We didn't see that one when we played. You can heal, you can gain generators, you can gain gears, and some of them even have victory points on them. These stars are all victory points. So if she helps me, she's going to get that kind train card, and I'm going to add this to my caboose over here. We'd spend our gears, and now I also would get to gain a generator of my choice, so maybe I just throw a yellow one down there, and then Mallory's going to get to do whatever is on that kind train card and on her turn. And then so you have the dice phase, then there's the movement phase. Each train can move 5 unless you get an ability which allows you to do move more. And then the other thing you can do is these green gears, if you have any of them on your board, you can spend them for extra movement. So that's going to let you get around the board faster. And movement's pretty straightforward, no pun intended. You can move, but you can't like double back. You have to always kind of keep moving in the same direction once you start your turn. You are allowed to stop and do an action and then do the rest of your moves. So you could kind of like swing through here, do this, and then maybe go over here if you've got enough movement. And so that's pretty cool. And it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. Mallory, how'd you feel about the rules with this game?
I felt like the rules are like pretty simple.
Yeah.
Because like the rules aren't too hard to follow. You just gotta like once you do like a few rounds, you kind of just get the hang of it.
You get the hang of it. Yeah, you caught on pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I like maybe once or twice you're like, wait, what do I do with this? And it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
In a good way. Right? Not too easy, because there was a couple times where these challenges were hard.
Yeah.
So then you do your move phase, and then you have an upgrade phase. So everybody's got tiles that you can pay gears to then upgrade, and you can add it to your super gear spot on your board. And depending on how many players you have, you're going to build this deck, of so many of the green cards, so many of the gray, and then so many of the red. And then once you run out of these cards, once the last one gets placed, everybody's got 2 turns left to get as many more points as they can. And then you count up all your stars at the end. And there's mission cards, which can give you extra points. So you're trying to go for some things like I needed to drop off people at the hospital. I think, Mallory, you were dropping people off at the school for extra points, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We played it in under an hour, I think.
Yeah.
It was pretty fast, but not too fast, but fast enough where I feel like it kept her attention. You stayed interested?
Yeah. I also feel like it kind of depends on how many people you have, because if you have more people, it might take longer because, there's more turns to go through.
But they might also roll more of these symbols, which then are going to make them all come out on the board. And then and that's the other thing, right? Is if you can't beat that boss, that emergency, you're going to take a damage token, and that's going to take a spot up on your board, and it's also worth a negative point. So you got to really be ready when you go in there and try to hope you got a bunch of gears. Or there was times where I knew, well, Mallory has at least one gear that I could probably borrow if I needed. But you were really good about sharing. And she still beat me. I was trying so hard. I was actually really trying to beat her, and it didn't work. I thought I had won, and then we found she had some bonus points because of a super gear, and then I couldn't catch up to her after that. But what do you think of so we have a prototype of the deluxe edition. They're still technically prototype components, so it's always subject to change, but I believe that the deluxe edition is going to have miniatures for the trains and the and Roll there. But Mallory, what do you think of the game components and how it looked?
I really like the design of the gears and the little details they added on the little figures, because you can kind of see the tiny details they put into each little figure.
Yeah.
And how I just like how the design of
the way it all looks and everything. What did you think about putting these gear generators on your player board?
I think they were really helpful because if you really needed one more of a certain gear, and you could just the little
do the mission to get the extra gear generators.
And then they help you because if you need more of say you need more red gear and you roll a red gear thing, you get just multiple red gears.
You can get the extras, right?
And then it helps you out more.
And then did you have fun putting figuring out where you wanted to put the stuff?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a puzzle too, because you don't want to just all have the same kind. You want to have a little bit of everything. So that was pretty interesting, and I liked this part of it, as well as sort of moving around the board and trying to figure out, am I going to the school? Am I going to the police headquarters? And try to do that. And Mallory did a really good job of finding things that were like the cargo and the passengers and finding them that were like close to each other so she could do them in like really quick back-to-back turns.
I would try to like if I had one that was like at the police HQ and then I saw one that was open for construction, I would take the construction one because it's closer.
Right.
Or say that I finished my passenger and cargo. If there were like two, like a passenger that was in police HQ and a cargo in the police HQ, I would just
get them both.
Get them both, so I can like just get more points in one trip.
Yep, you did a really good job of that. You did a really good job. What'd you think of the 3 different dice? Was that cool?
Yeah, I like the design for the little bad guy dice.
Oh yeah, Rollar's it's kind of fun. And then the way he moves is pretty straightforward, right? He just moves one, the arrow or the line at the bottom just indicates the bottom of the board, and then he moves, accordingly. And he also will hop from side to side. Because he's a truck and not a train, he doesn't have to stay on the tracks. Like the trains do have to follow the tracks as well. But that wasn't too bad. There was a couple times where it's like, man, I need a few extra movements so I can sneak through here and get, and get into this area. But anything else you want to mention?
I really like the design they added on the dice because like each place that has his own like little symbol in the middle of the gear, and I just like it a lot because like for the red one, which is like hospital, they had a little siren, and then for the construction they added like a little
it looks like
a tape
right.
pattern, and then downtown
it's got the movement gear, right? The green gear. Yeah, they did a really nice job. I felt like it was on theme and the characters were fun. And they're really cute. I like the player boards. I think that was really neat. And I thought the strategy of not only what gear generators do I want, but how do I want to place them on my board? It kind of made for some fun decisions. And there was once Mallory kind of figured that out, man, she had a nice big clump of like green gears all up at the top, and that got her a ton of points at the end of the game.
It really helped like at the end of the game when I had a bunch of like those green gears like clumped up together, because it actually helped me get more points, because like the more you have like clumped up together, the more points you get at the end.
Well, yeah, so you can get extra points for having the most of one continuous run. And then, like I said, Mallory had a super gear that then also gave her extra points for each green gear generator she had. And I was just devastated to see her get all of those points, because I was winning by like 3 and then I lost by like 8.
You were close to winning, but then I think I like how they added the extra points, so it's like it makes it harder to like see who won.
Right.
And also like it gets you thinking like, oh, I'm gonna win, but then like it could like you could end up like losing because like you didn't get one of those like bonus
those
points
extra missions or the bonus points. Yeah. Well, I'm really glad you had fun with it. I had fun with it. I look forward to seeing what the finished version. This looked pretty good for a game that's not even like out or like a, you can't go to a store and buy this yet. And so to have a prototype come by that looks this good already, it's pretty exciting to see what else they are going to have in store. But any other final thoughts you'd like to add before we sign off?
Yeah, I like the tiny details they added like in like each place, kind of like
the little characters you can see on the board and stuff.
It kind of just like helps you understand like what place is which. I also like how they added the design on the school cards and the police HQ cards. Yeah,
all the little like robots and everything on the.
They all have like nice details in them. And I really like it when like they add like details, because it feels.
It's nice to look at, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of entertains you.
It feels complete.
Yeah.
With the details.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
All right, Mallory. So last question for you, and then we will say goodbye. Would you recommend Super Trains?
I would recommend Super Trains because it's a really fun game, and like once you get the hang of playing it, I feel like it gets really easy to play, and it's also you can understand like how to play it more once you like get the hang of like each round. And the only part I would say is tricky is like the end where you have to add up the points.
Oh, sure.
Because like there's like a bunch of bonus points that you could get, and it's just confusing a little bit because you
Well,
you
yeah,
could
they're-
think you're gonna win, but then like these bonus point things come in, and then they just
You're like, what?
change things.
Well, that's why you've got a grown up to help you add them up sometimes,
Yeah.
right? But you're actually probably better at math than me. But you just needed to know what you were getting points for.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I had a really good time with this. It was a really fun experience. I'm glad that I get to do this every once in a while with Mallory. She usually beats me at games, which I get her one day, and she beat me again today. But yeah, Mallory, thanks for coming on the show and doing this with me.
Yeah.
So all that being said, for the board game rundown, I've been Tim,
I've been Mallory.
and this has been Super Trains. Thank you for watching.
If you can say the title's only 3 words.